The topic we're addressing today is the mind games women play when they're not interested in you. And before some people get offended, let's be honest for a moment. This is something many men experience, but very few actually understand. A lot of guys are confused because a woman might smile at them, reply to their messages, or even spend time with them. Yet somehow nothing ever moves forward. The truth is, many men are stuck trying to read signals that were never meant to lead anywhere in the first place. Welcome back to the channel. On this channel, we talk directly to men. No sugarcoating, no pretending. Just honest conversations about relationships, attraction, and female psychology so you can move smarter in today's dating world. Here's the controversial truth most people won't say out loud. When a woman is truly interested in you, she rarely plays complicated games. Things move naturally. Communication feels easy. Effort comes from both sides. But when she's not interested, something very different happens. Instead of clearly saying she's not into you, some women will keep you around for attention, validation, entertainment, or convenience. They won't completely reject you, but they also won't truly choose you. And that's where the mind games begin. You might notice hot and cold behavior, mixed signals, strange excuses, or situations where you feel like you're constantly trying to prove yourself just to get basic attention. Many men fall into this trap because they assume they just need to try harder, send more messages, be more patient, be more understanding, but often the real answer is much simpler. She's not interested. And once you understand the subtle mind games that come with that situation, you'll stop wasting your time, your energy, and your attention on women who already made up their minds. In this video, we're going to break down the most common mind games women play when they're not interested in you, so you can recognize them early and protect your time, your confidence, and your self-respect. 1. The hot and cold attention game. One of the most confusing mind games men experience is the hot and cold attention game. This is when a woman gives you attention sometimes, then suddenly pulls away for no clear reason. One day she's texting you, laughing at your jokes, maybe even flirting a little. The next day, she disappears, gives short replies, or acts distant like nothing happened. For many men, this creates confusion. You start asking yourself questions. Did I say something wrong? Did I move too fast? Should I try harder? But the truth is often much simpler than men think. When a woman is genuinely interested in you, consistency usually shows up. She doesn't suddenly become a different person overnight. Communication stays natural. Effort flows both ways. But when she is not truly interested, the attention becomes unpredictable. Not because she is confused, but because she is managing the situation in a way that keeps you around without fully investing in you. Many men misunderstand this behavior. Instead of recognizing the pattern, they start chasing harder. They send more messages. They try to be more funny, more charming, more available. In their mind, they believe if they just do a little more, things will go back to the good moments. But those good moments were never meant to be consistent. They were just enough to keep your attention. The reason this works so well is simple. Humans naturally chase uncertainty. When attention is given and then taken away, it creates emotional tension. Suddenly you start thinking about her more. You start wondering when she'll message again. And before you realize it, you're investing more energy into someone who is barely investing in you. Imagine this situation. You meet a woman and the first few conversations feel great. She laughs, asks questions, and seems interested. You leave the conversation thinking things are moving in a good direction. The next day you text her and she responds hours later with a short reply. The conversation feels cold. Then 2 days later, she suddenly messages you again, acting warm and playful like before. Now you feel hopeful again. You think maybe she was just busy. Maybe things are improving, but the cycle continues. Warm one day, distant the next. This pattern keeps many men stuck longer than they should be. Instead of stepping back and seeing the inconsistency for what it is, they focus only on the moments when she shows attention. A confident man learns to pay attention to patterns, not moments, because moments can be misleading, but patterns reveal the truth. And when attention constantly switches between hot and cold, it often means one thing very clearly. She enjoys the attention, but she doesn't truly want you. 2. The maybe someday illusion. Another common mind game men experience is what we can call the maybe someday illusion. This is when a woman never clearly rejects you, but she also never truly moves things forward with you. She keeps the possibility alive just enough to make you believe something could happen later. The key word here is later, not today, not this week, not anytime soon, just someday. And that one word can keep many men emotionally invested for far longer than they should be. You might notice that whenever the conversation starts getting serious, she changes the direction. If you bring up going out together, she might say something like, maybe one day, or we'll see. If you hint at wanting something more, she might laugh it off and say the timing isn't right. She never fully closes the door, but she never opens it either. To many men, this feels like hope. It sounds like the opportunity is still there, just waiting for the right moment. But in reality, the maybe someday response often means something very different. It usually means she does not want the situation to progress, but she also does not want to completely lose the attention you give her. By leaving the door slightly open, she keeps you emotionally connected to the possibility. And as long as you believe something might happen in the future, you remain patient, you stay around, you keep investing time and energy. Many men fall into this situation because they interpret these words in the most optimistic way possible. They think if they just stay supportive, understanding, and available long enough, eventually the timing will be right. Eventually she will realize their value. Eventually things will change. But time often proves something else. Weeks turn into months. Conversations continue, but nothing meaningful ever develops. The dynamic stays exactly the same. She enjoys the conversation, she appreciates the attention, but the relationship never moves beyond that stage. What makes this illusion powerful is that it rarely feels like rejection. There is no clear moment where she says no. Instead, the situation slowly drifts in a direction where you remain emotionally invested while she remains comfortably distant. A man who understands this pattern learns to listen carefully to actions, not just hopeful words, because real interest does not hide behind endless, maybe someday. Real interest creates movement. It creates effort. It creates progress. When those things are missing for a long time, the message is usually much clearer than the words being spoken. 3. Keeping you as the backup plan. Another situation many men experience but rarely recognize early enough is being kept as the backup plan. This happens when a woman keeps you around just in case other options don't work out. She doesn't treat you like a priority, but she also doesn't completely let you go. Instead, she keeps the connection alive at a very low level. Just enough communication to make sure you're still there, just enough friendliness to keep you interested, but never enough effort to show that you truly matter to her. For many men, this situation feels confusing because there are moments where she seems interested. She might check in occasionally. She might start a conversation when she's bored. She might suddenly show curiosity about your life after being distant for a while. These moments create a small spark of hope. You start thinking that maybe things are slowly improving. Maybe she's starting to see you differently. But when you step back and look at the bigger picture, the pattern becomes clearer. The attention only appears when it benefits her, when she needs conversation, when she needs attention, when she wants someone to listen, when she feels lonely. But when you try to take things a step further, the energy disappears again. The truth many men struggle to accept is that being someone's backup option is very different from being someone's real choice. When a woman truly values you, she naturally makes space for you in her life. She does not treat you like something she can pick up and put down whenever it suits her mood. Unfortunately, some men stay in this position for a long time because they focus on potential instead of reality. They believe that if they remain patient and supportive, eventually she will realize they are the better choice. But attraction rarely works that way. A woman who truly wants you rarely treats you like a backup plan in the first place. Another sign of this dynamic is how easily she disappears when something more exciting enters her life. Suddenly, the messages slow down, the attention fades, The energy you once felt disappears without explanation. Then weeks later, she may return again, acting friendly like nothing happened. This cycle keeps repeating because the connection serves a purpose for her. It provides attention when she needs it, but it does not require real emotional investment. A man who values his time learns to recognize when he is being placed on the waiting list of someone's life. Because the truth is simple. A woman who genuinely wants you does not keep you as a backup plan. She makes you part of the plan. 4. The endless, busy excuse. Another mind game that confuses many men is what we can call the endless, busy excuse. This happens when a woman constantly tells you she is too busy to see you, too busy to talk, or too busy to make any real plans. At first, this sounds reasonable. Everyone has responsibilities. People work, study, handle family matters, and deal with everyday life. So when she says she's busy, most men accept it without questioning it. The problem appears when busy becomes permanent. Every time you try to meet her, something suddenly comes up. Every time you try to make a plan, there is always another reason why the timing doesn't work. One week it's work, another week it's family, the next week it's stress, or being tired. The excuses change, but the result always stays the same. Nothing actually happens between you. Many men get trapped in this situation because they try to be understanding. They tell themselves she just has a lot going on in her life right now. They believe that if they remain patient and respectful of her time, eventually things will calm down and she will finally make space for them. But often the real message is hidden inside the pattern itself. When someone truly wants to see you, they usually find time somewhere in their schedule. It might not be perfect timing. It might not be every day, but effort appears naturally. When interest is real, people make adjustments to spend time with someone they value. The endless busy excuse works because it doesn't sound like rejection. She isn't saying she doesn't want to see you. She's simply saying the timing isn't right. That small difference keeps many men hopeful. They continue waiting for a moment that never really arrives. Over time, this creates a strange dynamic where the man keeps reaching out and suggesting plans while the woman continues postponing them. The conversations may still happen. The texting might continue occasionally, but the real connection never moves beyond words. This situation can last much longer than it should because the excuses always sound reasonable on the surface. Being busy is a normal part of life. But when busyness becomes a constant barrier that never changes, the message underneath it becomes clearer. The reality is that interest creates effort, while lack of interest creates excuses. A man who understands this learns to stop chasing explanations and start paying attention to results, because when someone wants to see you, they rarely stay endlessly busy forever. 5. The attention without commitment trap. Another mind game that many men fall into is the attention without commitment trap. This happens when a woman enjoys talking to you, enjoys your attention, enjoys your compliments, but never allows the connection to move into something real. On the surface, everything can look positive. She replies to your messages, she laughs at your jokes, she seems happy when you talk. Sometimes she even flirts a little. Because of this, many men assume the relationship is slowly progressing toward something more serious. But time passes and nothing actually changes. The dynamic stays exactly the same. You continue giving attention, energy, and conversation, but there is no real movement forward. She never commits to deeper emotional investment. She never allows the connection to grow beyond that comfortable stage where you are simply a source of attention. This situation works because attention is something most people enjoy. Compliments feel good. Being listened to feels good. Knowing someone is interested in you feels good. For some women, keeping a man around who constantly provides that attention can be very convenient. It boosts confidence. It provides entertainment. It fills quiet moments during the day. But enjoying someone's attention is very different from wanting a relationship with them. Many men fail to see the difference because they focus on the positive moments. They think if she laughs, if she replies often, if she seems comfortable talking to them, then she must be interested in something deeper. But attention and attraction are not always the same thing. A woman can enjoy your presence while still having no desire to build something serious with you. Imagine a situation where you and a woman talk regularly. She enjoys long conversations with you. She shares small details about her day. Sometimes she even sends you messages first. Naturally, this makes you believe that the connection is becoming stronger. But when you try to turn that connection into something more real, the response suddenly changes. Plans never become clear. The conversation shifts away from anything serious. The energy that once felt warm becomes cautious. Suddenly, the relationship returns to its original position, where you are simply someone she enjoys talking to when it feels convenient. Many men stay in this trap because the attention feels like progress. It feels like the relationship is building step by step. But in reality, it often stays frozen in the same place for months. A man who understands this pattern learns to ask himself a simple question. Is the connection moving forward, or is it simply repeating the same comfortable cycle again and again? Because attention without commitment is not growth. It is simply attention. 6. The friend zone comfort zone. Another mind game that confuses many men is what we can call the friend zone comfort zone. This is when a woman keeps you close as a friend, but never allows romantic or sexual progression. She shares personal stories, seeks advice, and enjoys your company, but she always maintains a boundary that prevents intimacy from developing. Many men think that if they just remain supportive, kind, and attentive, she will eventually see them as more than a friend. They believe patience and loyalty will earn romantic interest over time. The problem is, the friend zone comfort zone is rarely accidental. It often happens because she values your presence without wanting to risk complicating the relationship. She enjoys having someone reliable, someone who validates her, someone who listens without expectation. This creates a sense of security for her while leaving you stuck in a place of emotional limbo. The difficulty for men is that the signals can feel mixed. She laughs at your jokes, spends time with you, even flirts occasionally, but she consistently avoids any situation that could move the connection beyond friendship. Some men rationalize this by thinking she is just shy, uncertain, or needs more time. They assume that with the right strategy, persistence, or charm, they can cross the line into something romantic. The truth is simpler. Comfort does not equal attraction. Being a reliable friend is not the same as being desired. The more comfortable she feels, the more she may unintentionally reinforce the pattern of keeping you at arm's length. Many men remain stuck here because they overvalue proximity and underappreciate actual romantic signals. They confuse friendliness and emotional closeness with genuine interest. A confident man learns to differentiate between someone who genuinely desires him and someone who enjoys the benefits of his attention without reciprocating attraction. Patterns reveal intentions more clearly than individual moments of connection. If she consistently keeps interactions safe, avoids intimacy, and never prioritizes spending meaningful time with you as more than a friend, the message is clear. Comfort has replaced attraction, and remaining in that zone is unlikely to lead to anything beyond emotional support. Recognizing this early allows men to protect their energy, maintain self-respect, and focus on connections where attraction is mutual. 7. Why men ignore the obvious signs. One of the biggest mistakes men make is ignoring the obvious signs that a woman is not interested. Many men convince themselves that subtle signals are just temporary obstacles, misunderstandings, or challenges to overcome. They interpret mixed messages as opportunities instead of warnings. This happens because men often want to believe in hope, possibility, or potential, even when the evidence points in the opposite direction. They focus on the moments when she laughs, responds warmly, or gives small signs of attention, while completely overlooking patterns of disinterest. This is where a lot of men lose clarity. They stay emotionally invested in someone who has already made up her mind. They spend weeks, months, or even years chasing illusions, thinking that effort alone can change feelings. The truth is simple. No amount of chasing can create interest that isn't already there. Men often ignore the obvious signs because they fear rejection, because they confuse attention with attraction, or because they overanalyze every action instead of looking at consistent behavior. The reality is harsh, but it's necessary to accept. Women who are not interested will show it in their patterns, even if they never say it directly. Hot and cold behavior, endless excuses, keeping you as a backup, attention without commitment, all of these are clear indicators if you pay attention. Yet many men choose to ignore these signals, convincing themselves that persistence will eventually turn the situation around. This is where self-awareness and honesty come into play. Men need to wake up and recognize when they are investing in someone who does not value them the same way. It's not about blaming women, it's about understanding reality. Accepting these signs early protects time, energy, and emotional well-being. Stop hoping for what isn't coming and start redirecting your attention to situations where mutual interest exists. Recognize patterns, trust your instincts, and understand that attraction cannot be forced. Ignoring the obvious is the fastest way to waste your life chasing someone who already decided she doesn't want you. Wake up, see the truth, and act accordingly. Understanding these mind games isn't about blaming women. It's about giving men the tools to recognize when their time and energy are being wasted. Many men stay stuck in cycles of confusion, chasing attention, hope, or potential, while the reality is often much simpler. She's not interested. The harsh truth is that persistence, patience, or charm cannot create attraction where none exists. When you notice patterns like hot and cold behavior, endless excuses, attention without commitment, or being kept as a backup, the message is already clear. Recognizing these signs early allows you to protect your confidence, your energy, and your self-respect. Here's a controversial statement. Too many men are blind to reality because they refuse to see what is right in front of them, and that blindness keeps them trapped in disappointment. Don't be that man. Learn to pay attention to consistent behavior, trust your instincts, and stop chasing women who are emotionally unavailable. Your time is your most valuable asset. Spend it where interest is mutual. I want you to comment below on your experiences. Share the stories of the women who played these games with you or moments when you realized the truth. I'll read every comment, and I will reach out personally to create a real connection with you. This is not just about teaching. It's about building a community of men who understand female psychology and are empowered to act wisely, avoid manipulation, and reclaim their time and energy. Stop making excuses for someone else's disinterest and start investing in people who truly value you. The sooner you wake up to these patterns, the sooner you will stop wasting months or years on someone who never intended to choose you. Remember, clarity always beats hope when hope is based on illusions.